Brilliance Audio presents At Night, All Blood is Black by David Diop. Translated by Anna Moskovakis. Performed by Dion Graham. In the trench, I lived like the others. I drank, I ate like the others. Sometimes I sang like the others. I sing off-key and everyone laughed when I sang. They would say, "You're Diaz, you can't sing." They made fun of me a little, but they respected me. They didn't know what I thought of them. I found them foolish. I found them idiotic because they didn't think about anything. Soldiers, black or white, who always say yes. When commanded to leave the shelter of their trench to attack the enemy, defenseless, it's yes. When told to play the savage, to scare off the enemy, it's yes. The captain told them that the enemy was afraid of savage Negroes, cannibals, Zulus, and they laughed. They're content if the enemy on the other side is afraid of them. They're content to forget their own fear, so when they leap from the trench, their rifles in their left hands and their machetes in their right, hurling themselves out of the earth's belly, they do so with eyes like madmen. The captain has told them they are great warriors, so they love to get themselves killed while singing, so their madness becomes a competition. A Diop would not want it said of him that he is less courageous than an Indiaye, and so the minute the sound of Captain Armand's whistle commands him, he leaps up from his hole and screams like a savage. Same rivalry between the Queitas and the Sumares. Same thing between the Diallos and the Fayes, the Canes and the Tiones, the Dianes, the Croamos, the Bayes, the Facolis, the Sals, the Diengs, the Secs, the Cas, the Cisse, the Indors, the Toures, the Camaras, the Bas, the Fors, the Coulibalis, the Sonko, the Cis, the Sissokos, the Drames, the Traores. They will all die without thinking because Captain Armand has said to them, "You, the Chocolat of Black Africa, are naturally the bravest of the brave. France admires you and is grateful. The papers talk only of your exploits." So they love to sprint onto the battlefield to be beautifully massacred while screaming like madmen, regulation rifle in the left hand and savage machete in the right. But I, Alpha Indiaye, I understand the true meaning of the captain's words. No one knows what I think. I am free to think whatever I want. And what I think is that people don't want me to think. The unthinkable is what is hidden behind the captain's words. The captain's France needs for us to play the savage when it suits them. They need for us to be savage because the enemy is afraid of our machetes. I know, I understand. It's no more complicated than that. The captain's France needs our savagery. And because we are obedient, myself and the others, we play the savage. We slash the enemy's flesh, we maim, we decapitate, we disembowel. The only difference between my friends, the Tukulur and the Serere, the Bambaras and the Melinkes, the Susu, the Hausas, the Mosi, the Marcas, the Soninkes, the Sonofos, the Bobos, and the other wolves, the only difference between them and me is that I became savage intentionally. They play a role only when they call out from the earth, but I play a role only with them, inside our sheltering trench. In their company I laughed and I even sang off-key, but they respected me. As soon as I left the trench, sprinting, as soon as the trench birthed me and I began to scream, the enemy was in trouble. I never retreated when a retreat was called. I would return to the trench in my own time. The captain knew this. He let it happen, amazed when I would return each time alive, smiling. He let it happen even when I returned late, because I would bring trophies back to the trench. I brought back the spoils of a savage war. I brought back at the end of every battle, in the dark night or in the night bathed in moonlight and blood, an enemy rifle, along with the hand that went with it. The hand that had carried it, the hand that had gripped it, the hand that had cleaned it, discharged it, and reloaded it. So when the retreat was sounded, the captain and my trenchmates who had come back to bury themselves alive in the damp protection of our trench asked themselves questions. First, will Alpha Indiaye come back to us alive?